Welcome back to Inspired or Acquired. This is the podcast where we interview real business owners, talk real numbers, and ask them whether or not they would want to sell their business. We have a really fun and relevant conversation today. Martha Stavrou is joining us from Southern New Hampshire, and we're going to be talking to her today about possibly selling part of her business. They're very busy with a few different things, so we'll hear all about that. So as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Clint Fiore, mergers and acquisitions specialist from Dealonomy, and I'm your co-host, Patrick Dichter from Appletree. So Martha, it's good to see you. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being here. So for people who maybe haven't been to Southern New Hampshire and seen like the landmark, the lore that is your store, tell us a little bit about, what you guys do with your store and also this other business that you have for liquidation and moving.
Okay. So about 20 years ago, my husband split from a partner he was working with and decided to open his own business. And what he was doing at the time was selling used hotel furniture. So it would get liquidated. And that's pretty much how we started the liquidation installation business. The store was just necessary to sell the liquidated items. And then that spun off because my husband loves to shop. And so he'd find all kinds of curious things. Statues got to be a passion of his, but anything unusual or, unique, he'd want to bring into the store just to kind of dress it up because the hotel furniture gets a little boring and redundant. He started going to auctions, and back in the day when it was still lucrative, he would do the storage cleanouts. And those were okay, but it was mainly auctions and hotel liquidations. And we would liquidate from people like the Four Seasons, the Charles Hotel, any hotel that was renovating would need to get rid of the old furniture, and they need to do it quickly, and it had to be timed with the installation. Years ago, my husband had done installations, so eventually he got back into that with this business. And that's what's really started to grow upstairs. So we have a really strong customer base that he has built over the years, and they often, whenever there's a renovation, they call us for both. We'll go in, we'll take out the old furniture, they'll renovate, and then we'll bring in the new stuff. And it's all about timing and patience and, dealing with lots of other trades. And my husband's really good at it, actually. He has a real feel for his customers' needs, and he's built a really good following.
Nice.
So, same in the store as well.
I
Lots of customers go out of the way to find us. So it's really nice.
I love hearing the backstory. So the retail side is in the bottom. So this store, Deja Vu, Deja Vu Furniture and More. How many square feet is the bottom floor?
The bottom floor is 24,000 square feet.
24,000. Okay. And then the upper floors are where if a hotel in Boston or a hotel on the Seacoast asks you to come, you take the things out, store some of it there.
We try not to. We try to move it right into the store or sell it to another hotel. If, like a smaller mom and pop hotel. So, and that happens. But we try not to store. Upstairs, we try to store the incoming. So the installation items. So that's about 18,000 square feet. So we keep it pretty full.
Okay. And so for the side we're talking about today is the liquidation side, right? So you've got 2 big box trucks, you've got 2 crews, and you get paid a few different ways. So you'll get paid to take stuff out, you'll get paid to store it, and then you also get paid to go install certain things, and then also paid if you sell it to a different hotel.
Yes.
Okay.
That's ideally how it works. And it usually does.
Are these businesses separatable? Is that the right word? Is it separable or separatable?
Separable. Can you separate them?
Yeah, can they be separated?
Yes, they can be separated.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I keep them separated financially. I track each one differently,
Okay.
or separately, I should say. Well, Patrick helped me do that.
So it sounds like the furniture store is kind of your husband's passion, and he's got that skill set and enjoys doing that. But you've kind of developed this kind of lucrative other business where you get the hotel move outs and liquidations, and do you go to them? Do they come to you? Like, how do you get your customers on this?
Oh, he has a reputation. So
Yeah.
we're well known in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have, like I said, a lot of companies that come back to us. And we work with like the Four Seasons, the Charles, Purchasing Dimensions. They're smaller and they're larger ones. Blue Flag is another one that we came on somewhere around COVID. We met them. They were a small company just starting out, and now they've grown. And we do work for them as well, installations and pulling out. We work on Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard a lot. So yeah, we really enjoy it. We just developed a solid reputation for, giving their customers what they need and what they want.
That's great. Well, I have your finances on that side of the business in front of me. Patrick's been so gracious as to share them. I don't want to share every number for being somewhat discreet here, but I want to be high level, talk through kind of what I think that side of the business might be worth.
Okay.
And business is a personal thing, and I hate when people say, it's not personal, it's just business.
Yes, I completely agree with you. And this is one of the things that, like, we love our customers. Mm-hmm. We love our crew. It's all about relationships.
Mm-hmm. And so could you just tell me, on the personal side of y'all's lives, do you have a vision for where your life is headed? Are y'all thinking about retirement yet? Are you thinking, we would entertain, if the numbers were right, we might entertain selling the move out business because we don't have as much fun with that as we do with the furniture, the retail side? Or like, have y'all had that conversation? Where's your head at on that?
Well, we just started talking about it. Neither one of us are looking to retire. Mm-hmm. I know we have neighbors who are a little older than us, and they're retired. And I just can't. I think if we retired, we'd start another business, or mm-hmm. we'd buy another business. And so we're not really thinking about retiring so much as kind of slowing down a little bit, maybe, and pivoting a little, but we just haven't figured out what that's going to be. And mm-hmm. like I said, we love our customers. We love our crew, our guys. So we're just starting to enter the idea of, what's going to happen in the next couple of years. What do we want to do in the next couple of years?
Yeah.
Do we want to keep doing this?
Hey guys, we want to take a quick break from the show just to tell you about our companies that make this happen. My name is Patrick Dichter, and I own Appletree Business Services. We do accounting and tax nationwide. So if you own a small to medium-sized business, we'd love to help. And we can also do financial due diligence for any acquisitions. You can check us out at appletreebusiness.com.
And speaking of acquisitions, this is Clint, your co-host. My company is called Dealonomy. You can find us at dealonomy.com. We are on a mission to just make it 10 times easier to buy or sell a small business. If you're a buyer, you probably feel like finding a good business to buy is like searching for a needle in a haystack. We have created the Needle Store, where you can just go find a great business that's turnkey, ready to purchase, with banks ready to lend on it. Go find you a good one. Go buy it at dealonomy.com. And if you're a seller, we're the only place you can sell your business for no commission, with a fast, free, guaranteed result. And so it's very innovative, easy button for buying or selling a business. Hope you join us at dealonomy.com.
All right. Thanks for supporting us. Now back to the show.
Well, just for high level sake, it looks like you're growing I'm just talking about the move out and
Mhm.
liquidation side of the business right
Yep.
now. It For our listeners, it's growing. It looks very healthy on its margins. Um, we're seeing revenue under 1 million in the past, but it's ticking up towards 1 million. And it looks like it may cross 1 million in this year if things continue the way they have been. So over 1 million revenue, and with a discretionary earnings margin of probably 30% ballpark. Is that accurate, Patrick? Am I in the
Yeah.
So over 300,000 of what we call discretionary earnings, which we get there by starting with the net profit of the company and then doing add backs. So we'll add back your EBITDA add backs, interest, depreciation, amortization, and then also what the partner, the owner is paying themselves and pay perks and benefits on a normal year. And that would show on a company this size that's not, when you're not making millions and millions of profit with professional management in place, you're typically selling to another hands-on individual that's going to be buying the business and filling your shoes or your husband's shoes. And so what you pay yourself is relevant because they would usually be paying themselves out of that. So we add back the owner's pay, perks, and benefits to get what's called SDE, or seller's discretionary earnings. Patrick has been so gracious as calculating that for us already. And it shows that your discretionary earnings are adding up to, over 300,000 last year and on pace to be over 400,000 potentially this year. And so you're doing well. And that's not the furniture store. That's just the other side of the business. When I look at that growth rate, assuming this is a separable business that can stand on its own, and that those relationships that you enjoy could be transferable to a new buyer, like you could get your husband and you could get the right contacts in place and they could still enjoy that reputation
Yeah.
and continue those. As long as all that checks off, I
Yeah.
think you could get probably 3 to 4 times your average earnings for the past couple of years, which would value you about $1 million, maybe a little bit more. And we're just using rough numbers. We haven't done with a
Yep.
fine tooth comb, but this brings me to the big question of the show is, you have this second part of the business that you stood up. How many years ago did you stand this part up?
Well, it's kind of always been there when we started the store.
You just separated it out and got serious about it, kind of like.
Yeah, there started being a need
Yeah.
for more installers. And Tim was, just given jobs. He just said, hey, we know a couple other people in the industry, and it was busy. And so we started with small install jobs, and then we just got bigger and bigger ones.
Mhm.
And so, and it's kind of, my husband doesn't really pursue. We'd be a lot busier if he actually sat down and got on the phone and started making phone calls, but we're at a point where he's comfortable handling it like this. And,
Yeah.
if we didn't have the store, which is one of the things he was just talking about recently, he would probably throw himself more into the install end of it, and that's something he's considering, building it up some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I brought you, I'm imagining a stereotypical buyer in my head. Okay, this might be someone that maybe they've done sales, even related in the hospitality industry or the hotel industry. Maybe they know some of the same people they speak the language a little bit, but they're tired of working for someone else. They love the thought of controlling their own destiny and having a nice business, but they don't want to do a startup. That's too scary. That's too dangerous because they have kids and they have a mortgage. And so they want to find one that's already making money. They want to go get an SBA loan to buy it. And so, but it's someone that's a little younger. They're a hustler. They're very respectable on their background and resume. And they'll come along and say, I would love to take this side of the business off your hands. I would even lease space from you on that second floor. And I want to full time kind of grow that side of the business. I want to proactively reach out, try to find more hotel clients, do the move outs, do the installs, do the liquidation work. And if you'll just train me how to do it and I could take it off your hands from where it is, I'll give you $1.1 million. And I'll get an SBA loan for that and need you to finance maybe 100,000 of it, but we'll get the rest of it into you in cash at closing. Is that something that would tempt you guys where you could tell you and your husband could talk and be like, hey, now we have now we've got only one of these two we can focus on and give us more flexibility in life, give us a little cash in our pocket. Like, would that be tempting?
Oh, sure. I think it would be tempting. I think it would have to be the right buyer. I think, we've had friends in other lines of work who have sold their business and it had been an absolute nightmare and the customers got dropped. And so I think both of my husband's and my biggest concern would be to make sure that our customers are going to be well taken care of moving forward and that they don't have to worry about, not getting the service that we've been giving them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the right buyer kind of fixes that because, the right buyer, if they're getting an SBA loan, they're kind of all in too, because they've got to pledge those are unlimited personal guarantees. And it's usually people that are established in life because they've got good credit, usually families and a house and it's all on the line. And so the last thing they want to do is piss off their customers and drop the ball. And so they're going to be usually very conscientious about that. And that's kind of the beauty of selling to a hands-on owner that's all in and has a family like that is, sometimes when you sell to like a big entity, where if they mess it up, oh, well, we bought 10 other companies this year and you win some, you lose some, kind of thing. But we can't have that happen.
My husband even said that, if we ever sell, he goes, I would probably want to stay on for a little bit and just kind of guide the new owner and just make sure that, he goes, I could go on job sites and make sure everything's running smoothly, make sure the transition is a smooth one and no one is left out of the loop or upset or anything like that.
Yeah.
He's this baby.
The other thing I think about is if you kept doing the retail side, the moving kind of feeds the retail side, right? Feeds you inventory.
To some degree, yeah, it would. But he's really wants to scale down the store. 24,000 square feet is a lot to fill. And, we've stepped back and looked at it and said, okay, well, how much of this space are we actually utilizing smartly? We have way more space than we really need. We could tighten it up, lose a lot of the junk that's been there for a while. So that's one of the things we've been looking at is shrinking the store down.
Got it.
Getting a smaller space. Yeah.
Do you own the building or lease the building?
No, we lease. We have the upstairs renews in 26, and we'll probably keep that. That's a good space. It's an ideal location. That's where the installation and the liquidation or the install part of the business is upstairs, and we're right off 93. We're 2 minutes to 93. During COVID, we could get to Boston in like less than half an hour. So we got spoiled. Not that was the most pleasant time, but yeah. So we love where the business is located right now.
Did a lot of hotels renovate during COVID because you might as well when people weren't going?
It was surprising. We were really lucky that if they didn't have any big projects, they always had small projects going on. We do a lot of seasonal moves for like the Envoy and the Four Seasons. There's Sanctuary furniture, which sits out on a deck. We go down, we pull that in for the season. Envoy, we swap out furniture that goes on the roof deck for the season. So we have a lot of like repeat or regular jobs that we do each year.
Yeah.
Spring and fall.
Martha, I just want to warn you that there was another client we had on, and I said, this business is so good, I want to buy it. And then he sold. I felt the same way when I was helping you prep for this. The more I learned, I'm like, wait, you guys spend how much on this business per week? You spend 10 to 15 hours? And you have repeat customers.
Yeah, we do, but it's still like any business owner knows, it's 24/7.
Sure.
We go through loops. Tim's always at the store, so he's always dialed in downstairs. But me, I tend to take more time off. My stuff is more concentrated at certain periods of time. Like if we've got projects coming up, I'm the one doing the bids for the projects. He's throwing certain numbers at me, and then I have a spreadsheet. I plug them in, and then I am typing up the contracts or the proposals and making sure that I am putting in very specific items so that they don't come back and say, oh, well, you said you'd do this. And I was like, no, it's not in the proposal. We didn't say we'd do that. But if you'd like us to do it, we'll add it on. So sometimes those will take, if I've got, several in the pike, I got to deal with. Then some weeks are full-time busy.
Yeah, I bet. But those are the things I loved, like recurring customers, right? Like they'll do one floor 1 year and the next floor the next year and the next floor year, and you have two crews that are busy and Tim's earning away jobs, and you also have recurring revenue because some people have storage with you for ongoing needs.
That's true. Yes, we do. We have long-term storage, and then we have the short-term storage for the hotel projects. So so that's how that warehouse is constantly, creating some kind of revenue.
Yeah, average job size is like 100K, I think, for a project, right?
Yeah, it's getting up there. It's getting more expensive, just because of the amount of time some of them take. And the trucking, the trailers. Sometimes we have to pull in trailers, so we will hire a trailer company and to help us. But it's the hotel industry. Usually, about every 3 to 5 years, they're needing to renovate some part, whatever flag they're flying. Corporate's going to come down and say, okay, we need to redo this, or we're changing the carpeting, which means we had to go down, pull everything out, go back and put it back. We've done that,
Got it. And what are their options if they don't use you? Are they using just like a traditional residential mover, or like a?
No, not that I'm aware of. No, there's a few of us. I think down in Rhode Island or Connecticut, there's a couple of moving companies that do it, but generally because we have hangers, which are guys who hang pictures and that kind of stuff. It's not that we're specialized, but you want someone who knows what they're doing, and you can have a large moving crew go in, but it's almost the more people you have on a floor to do something, the less you get done, because you have to keep an eye on all your guys. You want a smaller crew so they can they work well together. You put them in pairs or groups, and they bang out, 10 to 15 rooms a day, if they can, depending on what's getting swapped out. Sometimes it's just beds. Sometimes it's the whole room.
Interesting. I mean, the more you talk, there's a couple competitors in Connecticut and Rhode Island, but
there's competitors up here too. But my belief in business is there's plenty of work to go around, as long as you're a straight shooter and you're doing it really well.
Agreed.
People are going to want you to work for them.
Yeah. And
And
obviously,
that's what we've always strived for with our guys.
it's hard physical work and operationally intense, and you're driving, to downtown Boston or Cape Cod or Nantucket. It's complicated.
We do a lot in New Hampshire too. We've pretty much stick to New Hampshire, Massachusetts area. But yeah, we did this year. We did a lot in New Hampshire. We were in Portsmouth quite a bit.
So, dream life that might involve a transaction, because I'm a hammer and everything looks like a nail to me. Let's imagine it together. I'm
Okay.
just listening to like what you're just describing. So you're saying you're not interested in retirement. You would just work somewhere or start another business if you sold.
Yeah.
You already know this industry, you and your husband, but you feel like the 24,000 square feet is kind of unwieldy for the retail store, but there's still some passion there and you still enjoy it. So what if, you found the right footprint that felt just that Goldilocks size that you guys
We're looking.
that you
We're
could
looking.
enjoy. And you said, we're not going to retire, but we're going to do retail 2.0 here and do it exactly like we want it based on everything we've learned. And we're going to sell the moving, storage, and install business that services hotels. And we're going to get us a lump of cash for that we can roll into our next retail store or fund our retirement or whatever we want to do with that. And then we're going to maintain a relationship with that buyer, because your husband wants to mentor them, make sure the customers are taken care of, that they're on solid footing, they're going to be successful. So you can be proud to watch that business flourish and grow over the years. But also, you may want to buy furniture from them at cost sometimes to feed your 2.0 retail store. And then you can just kind of like have fun with your store, have a vendor for furnishings coming out of those hotels, have a friend that's younger and ambitious, so it's like taking over the world with that business model you're cheering on and watching them grow successfully. Does that sound like a neat next chapter for you? Is this something I think y'all could get behind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Guys, the lesson here, and I love doing this thought exercise, is that again, business is personal, and selling a business is never really about the numbers. It's always about people changing their lives and getting to a new state of equilibrium that they're going to enjoy a little bit more than their current life is the plan, And so that's the reason people buy businesses. That's the reason they sell businesses. It's we always want to make it into Excel spreadsheets, but it's lives. It's life stories that come together, and that buyer may be changing their life story as well. They're going to be taking control of their destiny. Getting an established business that's already cash flow positive that they can make a living on, and then grow and expand, take to the next level. And they're really excited about it. But it's also enabling a dream of Martha at the same time. And so that's the win-win we look for, is like, are both of these lives going to be positively impacted here? Are both going to come out the other side happier than they came in? Like, that's the win-win you want in these small business transactions. So I think this is a cool conversation. Like 9 times out of 10, we get people saying, I'm not going to sell. They play really coy with us. They're real hesitant to do that. But Martha, it's been a breath of fresh air that you're open to it, and that we've kind of pulled out of you a potential next step that's not getting totally out, but it's kind of saying, let's right size to free up our lives a little bit here, but we still have something we're passionate about. We can make good money at. And maybe we can sell half the business and not all the business, or something like that.
Yeah.
So fun conversation.
It's nice to dream.
Yeah.
It's nice to, it really is. And we've just started talking about this. So, but we're always open to anything. whatever's next. I feel like the universe is going to like put it in our lap when it's the right time, and maybe this is the start of it. So
Yeah, we'll publish this and I'll buy the business and we'll hopefully have after.
you know how to move a dolly?
What?
Do you know how to load a dolly?
Lotus Dolly, I tend to have low back issues, so that might be a problem. But
Have you seen him?
figure
He's
that
like
out.
8 feet tall.
That's how you can't bend over,
Yeah.
We try not to stack it too high.
Yeah,
I go.
I
I
did-
joked about it with my wife. I was like, "Babe, we might be going to Cape Cod a few times a year," and she's like,
Mm,
"That." I was like, "Well, if I, the hotel moving business, like, you can come along for jobs," and she was just like, "You're nuts."
yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been a really fun conversation. Martha, I appreciate you opening up. And if you do, want to explore it, Clint could totally explain like, okay, here's the process and here's how to get ready. And it's a little bit of a marathon to go
Yeah.
through that. But, he's great at taking people through it and making
It
sure
usually is, you've got clean books, obviously working with Patrick. You've got a business that sounds like it's in good shape to be sellable. But it is not something that happens overnight. So I do tell people,
Yeah.
like, if you decide you want to explore this, even from the word go, it's going to be at least a 6 to 12 month process, not counting the post sale transition and mentorship
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Yeah. We wouldn't expect it to be overnight. We wouldn't want it to be overnight. I think that would be too shocking for us. We're 1 minute, yes, next minute, oh,
Yeah.
So
depends on
that
how
works.
hard the week is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we've had some tough weeks, but the one thing we always know is they always pass. It's, nothing lasts forever.
Totally. Well, this has been a really fun conversation. So we'll wrap it there and we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to do a follow-up show with you, Martha. So
Okay.
we will link to your store in the show notes if that works for you.
Yeah.
And if people are in Southern New Hampshire, come by, check out Deja Vu Furniture and More in Londonderry.
Mhm.
And we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye.